But I remember when I was in the Naturally Slim offices, I had bought a smaller pair of pants and I came in and everybody asked me, have I lost weight?
Yeah.
That was my first indication I was doing something right.
I'm so glad y'all have joined us today because I have a very special guest. And we have known each other for over 16 years. Anil Keswani was my CIO for years and years, has known my husband for almost 40 years. And he has had quite a journey with the Naturally Slim principles. But you've had a recent, really interesting journey. Tell everybody, what all have you been doing, Anil?
So after working with Marcia, I went on to have some consulting business and joined the high school as a permanent substitute, helping 9th and 10th graders. And I focused my time on math and science, and that's what I did a lot of that kind of stuff with the kids.
Yeah.
And then recently I joined a company to help them with their billing and coding or medical claims processing. So we come into companies that have people doing the work but are overloaded and needs assistance in how to get the claims processed with insurance companies, with doctor's office, making sure everybody gets paid properly and that they're paid the correct amount.
Yeah.
Handling all the denials and everything else that goes on in that business. So that's what we're growing now. We can go directly to a company or we can go through another company as their back office, so to speak.
So are you loving AI? Has it been good?
AI is very good. It's coming into that market now.
Yeah.
And I think today, AI, I believe, is probably an 80% solution for that. Because right now, the AI doesn't know all it needs to know to be able to diagnose what code goes with what.
Yeah.
What person has what, which, because the codes are some 65,000 codes now with ICD-10.
Wow.
So you don't know some of that. But I think as it learns, and there's a lot of startups in that space, so it'll all flush out, and there'll be a handful that do it, and it'll get up to the 95% range.
Yeah.
And then it'll get incorporated into electronic health records. Which the same thing happened with medical transcription. So all of these things will take time. But right now, I think you need to have human intervention.
Thank goodness.
I think so for another 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Well, what I think is so cool is we talked on the phone the other day and you said, I'm 100 pounds lighter.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, Anil, that is way cool.
Yeah.
So tell me all about your 10-year journey of losing 100 pounds.
Well, the journey started when I was working with you as your CIO. I came into your company and I saw all the people had been healthier than I was eating. Let's put it that way. And the reality is, I said, I need to get into this stuff because I had lost 60 pounds. I had gained it all back. I'd been since I was in my early 20s, I'd done the yo-yo diets.
Yes.
Been
you
all
and
over
everybody
the place.
else. Yeah.
I'd been all over the yo-yos. So now I'm, 15 years ago? So my late 40s at this point. And I came to you and you handed me the Naturally Slim program. So I get to understand it. If I was going to work in your company, I needed to understand what we did. And I started watching the videos and I started with the H2 orange, which was water with orange juice in it. And I switched it up. And now it's just, for me, it's basically either water or Crystal Light or something along those lines is all I use. Or the sparkling waters. But I started with that. And then I made it a point when we'd go out for dinner anywhere to ask for the takeout container immediately. And so I just cut it in half and put it in there. And after a little bit of doing that, then my wife and I, Pat, would just split it.
I love it.
And we still do that today. To this day, we'll split meals. But then we would put it in the way and I'd take it home and it'd be my next lunch. And sometimes it was so much food, it'd be 3 lunches.
I hear you.
And then I had to learn how to not keep eating to clean the plate. Eat what you can eat and then put the rest away for later. And I learned that principle. So it took me several months to actually gain the experience and the knowledge to keep following it. And then, to be honest with you, coming into the office, watching how you guys operated, encouraged me and helped me stay focused. And being in a company that was watching and helping people with wellness, we always would say, hey, you're looking better today. You'd make those comments, which was encouragement.
Yeah.
And you got to have some level of encouragement. If you don't have that, you have to have somebody who's willing to help you.
Yes.
And they may not even realize they're helping you. It's
Yeah.
just the comments they make.
It's like when the husbands and wives would do the program together.
Uh-huh.
I just loved it because they were encouraging each other. So, yeah.
Correct. That's what I saw happening there.
Yeah.
And that's how I did it. And then over time, I had some health issues and went on certain medications. Those medications weren't dialed into weight loss, not like it is today.
Mm-hmm.
Today, all these weight loss drugs, and to be honest with you, some of them I just got on. So I've already lost the weight.
Mm-hmm.
All these are going to do is help me lose some more weight.
Mm.
I'm not at my ideal weight. I'm probably about 20 pounds away from what I really want to be. But I have a 10-pound window that I keep floating in.
Yeah.
Depending on the mood and the timing.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's very okay.
I mean, from coming from 285 to 290 to below 200,
yeah.
I feel good. I feel
Yeah.
good about it. And yes, I can get lower. Don't get me wrong. Everybody feels that way. But you know what? I'm happy. And
Yeah.
that's the key thing.
And don't you feel like taking your time and losing it slowly, that's allowed you to make the
Yes.
lifestyle changes
Yes.
that you'll never put it back on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't put it on.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been losing weight so long. I averagely lose per year probably 3 or 4 pounds a year,
Awesome.
which is not gaining it. It's just losing it.
Yes.
And can I attribute all that at the end here to medications? Probably not. I'm sure it helps,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't pinpoint and say it's only medication.
Yeah.
It had to be lifestyle. It had to be a mental change.
And
I
the
had to
medi-
make a mental change.
Totally. And the medications you're talking about are the same ones that are for diabetes and people
Correct,
are using them
correct.
for weight loss.
Which is semaglutide and whatever Jardiance was,
Mhm.
Wegovy.
Mhm.
All of them are different medications,
Mhm.
but they are being used for weight loss, but that's not what they were intended to do.
Right.
And I'm fortunate that I'm using it for what it's intended to, and the weight loss has been
A good side
a
effect.
good side. Well, it wasn't a side effect of the medication. It's something I already started,
Yeah.
because I think if I had just done medications and not tried to follow a plan and make the mental changes,
Yes.
I would never have made it.
Yes.
It'd keep coming back.
Yeah. Because I think enough people don't realize they have to change their lifestyle.
Yes.
They have to get exercise. They have to change habits. They have to do like you do, start splitting the entree, being
And then
aware.
it just becomes second nature.
Yes. Yeah.
It just becomes second nature. And the other thing, people seem to feel like they've got to go spend money on these Apple Watches, right? So that they can track their steps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be honest with you, I just have a solar watch here, and there's a free app that I got on my phone, and I keep my phone in my pocket. It tracks my steps
Yeah.
every day.
That's
So
cool.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go spend money on no, you don't have to spend money to do things.
Right.
I found this app. It was great.
Yeah. And if you found that getting a little bit of walking, because I always preach walking.
Mhm.
Remember my treadmill desk?
Mhm.
Still have them.
Yeah.
Every location I'm at. But did you find the days you were able to exercise, you could see it helped?
Yes, I exercise every day.
Oh.
My goal is to walk a minimum of 5,000 steps a day.
Awesome.
Most of them are up close to 10 to 15,000 when I'm in the school,
Oh gosh, yes.
because the school is, I don't know, eighth of a mile long,
wow.
and being in the role of going between rooms constantly, by the time I get home, I've already hit 11,000.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And so then I learned you have to have special shoes. Then I learned that my shoes got too big. I had to get smaller shoes.
You started losing weight in your feet too.
And my feet, and then my hands, where
Wow.
my wedding ring went from a 12.5 to a 10.5.
Wow.
So these are the things that you don't think about.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah. Tell everybody about your waist size, how it's gone down.
Oh yeah, when I started with Naturally Slim, before Naturally Slim, I was a 52 waist.
52. Okay.
52. Today I'm a 38.
Oh, that's amazing. That that makes you out of metabolic syndrome range for
Yes.
waist.
For waist it is, and for height I'm still there. I'm above the limit because I'm too short.
That's right.
That's
You're-
why. It's because of my shortness, not because of
Yeah.
anything else.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. Wow. That's cool. So, when you were first starting all the principles and stuff,
Mhm.
which ones did you find were the hardest and which ones were the easiest? What was easy? What was hard? I know you have to think back 10 years ago.
Well, the easiest one was the H2 Orange. putting a little bit of orange juice in the water,
Yeah, kind of a splash.
a splash. If I remember correctly, it was 1 ounce of orange juice to 7 ounces of water.
Yeah.
So you get your 8 ounces.
Yeah.
And I used to make half gallons of it.
Yeah.
And then because I didn't like the flavor, I would add in one of those little Crystal Light things to it.
Yeah.
And I drank that all the time.
Yeah.
And I never was a sweet drink person.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a diet drinks and stuff like that. And then I'm more of in alcohol, I drink scotch and I control it. I do everything I used to do. I just mentally know to not do it.
Mm-hmm.
But the principle that was probably the hardest was to stop eating so much.
Yes. Yes.
That used to be my crutch.
Yeah.
It used to be the thing I went to when I was upset,
Mm-hmm.
when I was nervous,
Mm-hmm.
when I was working. I always had a bowl of chips.
Mm.
And so one of the things I started doing was we have these little Pyrex bowls, right?
Mm.
And I would put my chips in it or my nuts in it. And then I remembered there was a certain count you would do. I think it was 39 or 29 or something like that.
15 peanuts, but I
15
would
peanuts.
say 39 peanuts
Something like
was
that.
an ounce.
Was an
Okay.
ounce. So
And so
that's
we do
how I would
15.
measure it.
Yeah.
And I have these little, to this day, I do it today still.
I love it.
I have this little bowls, and I physically take a handful, which I know how much it is, and that's it. Close up the container and go sit down.
Yeah.
Pour myself either a soft drink or I'll pour a scotch. Close up the bar. If I close it and put it away, I don't want it anymore.
Yes.
If I take the bag of chips or the can of nuts to sit down, I'm sorry. I can still eat a whole can of peanuts.
Yeah.
I can still eat a whole bag of chips.
Yeah.
But by taking my bowls and taking handfuls,
Yeah.
and then I consciously look at the number of calories per ounce to this day.
That's good.
I consciously look and I say, okay, today I'm not eating a lot. I don't want a lot of carbs. I'll have some, beef jerky,
Yeah.
or I'll have something like that. And so I would switch it up.
Good.
And I'm Indian, so I have a bunch of different Indian snacks.
Yeah.
And so I do the same thing with my Indian snacks. I take handfuls and put it in there, and these bags last me for weeks.
Yeah. It's amazing.
But I haven't given it up.
That's okay. And you've
I have
lost
not-
100 pounds.
I haven't given up anything.
It's everything in moderation.
Yes. And people don't understand that. They think you gotta, and then they have these diets where you eat only protein. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's got some value to it, but at some point when you come off of it, you're done.
Right.
I believe in the principles of managing, eat everything, but eat it in controlled environments.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let yourself indulge.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, when I go to restaurants that have these huge steaks and everything, I still cut them in half, slide it off. I don't put it in the takeout container immediately, but I cut how many slices I'm willing to eat,
Yeah.
and then I'll leave the rest.
If you love Insights with Marcia and you want even more, I have something for you. Go to my Patreon page, and there you'll be able to watch ad-free episodes that come out early, bonus content every week, my personal show notes, and you may even have a chance to get your questions answered on the podcast. So for $5, $10, or $20 a month, we will keep this conversation going. So go to patreon.com/insightswithmarcia, patreon.com/insightswithmarcia. And let's have some fun. Let's keep the conversation going. I hope to see you there. What blew my mind with Naturally Slim was what you just said, was how little food it takes to fill us up.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then once you get in the habit of that,
Yes.
and I remember so many times hearing somebody go, oh, I overate and I'm just miserable. You get used to feeling comfortably full. In fact, I've started telling some people, the minute you still feel your stomach kind of start to stretch, you've probably had enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the Okinawan people say they eat until they're 80% full. And then they just kind of slide into fullness. It's kind of like if you ate, let's say you ate 80% of your meal, somebody rings the doorbell and they're selling the Girl Scout cookies or whatever it is. It's like a little bit of a break there. And by the time you get back to your food, you don't even want it.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
And I remember we talked about the 20-minute rule.
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you'd eat slower. Well, I used to be a very fast eater. I used to eat constantly very fast. And now I'm not as slow as my wife. She can still beat me slowness wise.
Wow.
But I've actually slowed down tremendously. We're out with company, I can tell that I've slowed down.
Because
Because
they
they're
finished
faster.
right before you.
Right.
Yeah.
They eat they eat faster than I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I eat fast still, but I've slowed down. So for me, I've reached a happy equilibrium of slowing down.
Yeah.
And as soon as, and the reality is if I get up and leave the table and come back, I leave the food because I'm not hungry anymore.
Yeah.
And I can sit down and now I know how to portion size what I can eat.
Yeah.
And even to this day, if I put too much on the plate, I don't eat it. I leave it, put it back, put it away.
Oh, you've arrived, Anil. You have arrived.
I mean, I was up in Boston visiting my aunt and I took some food and put it on the plate. And I started eating and I got to a point and I said, oh, I'm done. Let's put it away.
Wow.
But that happens fairly consistently now. I can't eat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't constantly eat anymore.
That's good.
I love my snacks.
Yeah.
I love my snacks. When I get home from school, I got to have one or two different snacks.
Yeah.
Nowadays, after 3 years in school, it's either a banana or an apple or something along those lines. Sometimes it's chips. Sometimes it's Indian crackers.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really what it is now. It's not the whole bag. It's always
Right.
making a little bowl. I mean,
Yes.
such a habit. I make a bowl, and that's it.
And you're so smart because the minute we bring a bag of chips with us somewhere
Mhm.
or the can of peanuts with us somewhere, it's portioning it out.
Mhm.
And those, I think, are the habits that, like Dr. Scott, when she was here, was talking about that people have to make. And then they're going to do the weight loss medications, and that's how they learn to keep it off. I used to always tell people, it's so easy to maintain. To lose the weight, you got to gear up and pursue it and do everything right when they first started a class. And then maintaining was literally a piece of cake. But that's because you've just started to make all those habits, and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be pretty good,
Mhm.
And I'd even have people that say, on the weekends, I'm not going to follow the rules quite as much. I'm going to relax a little bit. I'm not going to binge, but I don't have to feel like I'm so strict with myself. But you've just really made it a lifestyle.
And to be honest with you, as you just said, I'm going to binge. I'm not going to binge, but I'm going to eat more on the weekends. To be honest with you, I eat the same all the time.
Yes.
I don't quote unquote binge, but if we go out to a restaurant I really love, boy, I'll sock it away. And then I'll say, oh God, what did I do? But that happens once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's not
every day.
It's not an everyday event.
Yes.
I have structure. I'm very much a structure person. And as long as it fits in my structure, I'm good.
Yeah. In fact, you're an engineer.
Uh-huh.
And my engineers always did best because they could handle some structure.
Yeah.
And it's really just structuring your eating. It blows my mind because I've used this story before, but when my girls were little, I had two friends, which is, the odds are against this, whose children had cystic fibrosis. And back, 30-something years ago, we didn't have as great of treatments, but they would have to do breathing treatments, put the baby over the knee and pat its back. And they had to do things like that every day for the child to live. And it's like, if we have obesity, we have a problem, and you don't get to live without any rules and guidelines.
Mhm.
You have to modify how you live your life. It's not that easy. We have to balance our checkbook. We have to go to school and learn. We have to file our taxes. And we have to manage our weight.
Mhm.
And I think you're being a perfect example of helping people see how they have to manage their
It is.
weight.
It's a management process. It becomes second nature.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I mean, people tell me, oh, I'm going to go gorge tonight. Okay, go have fun. You coming with us? I said, yeah, but I'll eat what I eat, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't miss out going anywhere. I don't miss out enjoying my alcoholic consumptions. I don't miss any of that stuff
Yeah.
because I do it in moderation.
Yes.
And I use that word, but I actually don't even think about it.
Yeah. Yes.
As we're talking, I'm talking about it. But in my daily life, doesn't even cross my mind.
Wow. That's cool. Now, I'm going to sidetrack for a minute.
Yeah.
And tell me about your sister. Does she mind you talking about her?
Oh, I don't mind. I'm proud of her to the hilt.
Yeah, tell us.
Several years ago, she weighed quite a bit, very large, and Marcia and I had talked about it, and she started going through some programs and things and following the shake processes and all that, and it didn't work. She went back, and then she had a mental change. She went and had some surgery done, and she is bound and determined to stay thin. So she's lost over 250 pounds.
Wow.
And she's down, and she's been that way now coming up on 2 years.
Awesome.
And she still loses it. She gets upset, but she's in a good place. She's happy.
Yeah.
She's thrilled. But one of the things I got to say is, as a person that's lost that much weight, and I know there are other people that have done it,
Mm-hmm.
when you look in the mirror, you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's only when somebody else tells you that you look smaller. I personally, to this day, don't believe I've lost anything in my brain.
Yeah.
My sister feels the same way because we talk about it.
Yeah.
But we know we have. Because I get on an airplane, which I just flew back. Today's Friday. I flew back Wednesday. I sat in the plane seat and I had space on either side.
Yes.
And when I put the belt on, I had like a huge tray. And the trays fit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are little things you don't ever think about.
Yeah.
But I remember a time where that would not even be possible.
Wow. Well, that's got to be rewarding.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's other people that see me that have known me for a long time that say it.
Yeah.
The people that see me every day, you won't hear it because they don't see it.
Right. It's too gradual.
It's too gradual a movement.
Yeah. Wow. I know you're proud of her.
I am very proud.
And that just shows what a person who's decided this is something I will have to work on for the rest of my life.
Yes.
And gets determined and learns some skills will do.
Mm-hmm.
But what's also one of the reasons I'm doing these podcasts is I think so many people still don't even understand what that means. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
I was with a younger person this last weekend, and she had the green drinks. And I think they sell them in convenience stores, but they actually, I want to say I see them in the produce section. And it's supposed to be like you took a blender and made a green drink and you're drinking it. And I looked at it and I said, do you realize this has 54 grams of sugar? Or 52. 54 or 52. Anyhow, it was 13 and a quarter teaspoons of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, wow, I knew I needed more fruits and vegetables, but I didn't know I was getting 13 teaspoons of sugar doing it that way. And she was a person who really respected her health. So, I still always remind people, look at labels, like you were saying in the very beginning.
Yes.
4 grams of sugar is a teaspoon. So
Yep.
8 would mean 2 teaspoons.
Exactly.
Pick up a candy bar that's about that big, and it's probably 5 teaspoons of sugar. So she was like eating 2.5 candy bars when she drank the green drink she thought was good for her. And then another thing I still look at all the time is protein. Like you said, there are so many people that are still not getting enough protein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have to count protein, or you just you're so used to it you know
so
you're
used
getting
to
it?
But I do for breakfast because I need the energy boost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I have an hour and a half to 2 hours between when I get a break. Okay, so the protein shakes are big for me. I've tried pretty much every one of them. The ones that have these 30 grams and all, yeah, it's a lot of protein, but they taste like crap.
Yeah.
The one that I've settled on, which is the one that you got me hooked on, were the Atkins 15-gram shakes.
Mm.
They work fine.
Mm-hmm.
They last good. They taste good. They're not high in calories. They don't have they don't have the sugar that you have in it.
Yeah.
So I look for those items if I want something in the morning.
Yes.
And do I get tempted by the donuts? Do I get tempted by the biscuits? Absolutely. Do I have them once in a while? Absolutely. But my daily breakfast is a shake
Yes.
and a banana or a piece of fruit or something.
Yeah. And
That's it.
and it's working.
Yeah.
So my advice to people usually is, does it work for you? When you're losing, get on. Well, when I usually say, when you're losing, get on the scales once a week. When you're trying to do everything right every day, because your weight will fluctuate from day to day, and they'll get disenchanted. But when you're maintaining, get on the scales every day, so you know what you're doing. And then for those people that try what you just said, just get on the scales every day and try that for several days and see if it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And
See
you'll
if it
learn.
works. Now I'm at a point where when I put on my clothes, I can tell whether I've lost weight or gained weight. So I actually do not weigh myself very often.
Yes.
Because
that was the last class. That was our last class we taught. Yay.
I remembered that. You talk about what principles I remember?
Yes.
As we're talking, I'm remembering them, but they'll just become part of my life.
You don't even know what it is you need to remember because you're doing it.
And like the hardest one for me is, you would ask me the hardest one, it was when I went to a restaurant, not eating the whole plate. because I could.
Yeah.
I could. And over time, I realized my stomach got smaller. I never believed it. I thought that was a joke.
Uh-huh.
To this day, I think it's a joke sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Because when I sit down to eat, and I eat, and I'll sit there saying, I didn't finish it. Wow. So now I just order less.
That's good. So everything you said was right. So I will interject for me, and I've known the Naturally Slim principle since I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I sit down with a plate of food, I have to tell myself, you do not have to clean your plate. Some teacher along the way in the cafeteria, somebody told me to clean my plate. So I still have to work on that one. But what's happened to you is you've lowered your set point.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that in the videos too.
Yes.
Lowering your set point. My set point has dropped significantly.
Yes.
Because if I hadn't lowered my set point, I would have gained back all the weight.
Yeah. Because a set point tells you how much food to hunger for, crave, and desire,
Correct.
and to eat. And I even reread an interesting book I've had in my library forever, and it talks about calorie theory, which my mom and I used to always talk about calorie theory. It is a theory that 3,500 calories is a pound of fat, because there's a big difference between 3,500 calories of protein, of OJ, of anything. And then when you consume the calories, has a big difference, because if you consume it in a non-hungry state, it's going to go be stored versus the other. And the average person, gosh, today is eating maybe 700 calories more a day than they used to.
Yeah.
And back in the 80s. So everybody should theoretically be putting on 70 pounds a year, but we're not. And it's because of what you just said. The body is saying, and it's using the term, my stomach has shrunk. It's saying, Anil, stop eating. I don't want that. No more, no mas, because it knows that you're full. They've even taken twin studies, and fed certain amounts of them different amounts. And what they notice is some twins won't gain as much, but they stay the same. That's not making a lot of sense, but it's the point I'm trying to make is your brain is controlling how much you eat. So yeah, I mean, our stomach is a loosely held fist, but it'll stretch this much. So your stomach could still stretch there, but your brain's saying, don't do it. I like you the way you are.
And to be honest with you, when that does happen, if I overeat one night, I can't eat till noon, 1 o'clock.
And look that you were just saying everything I've always said, because your brain's going, I got to work all that food off.
For as many years as I was working with you and being part of your company as your CIO, I learned. Okay. And then there's a lot of friends of mine now that ask me how I did it. And I tell them, I said, just try it. I'm not telling you to go do it. If you want to lose weight, try this. If it doesn't work, okay, then try something different. But to binge diet and binge this and binge that, it doesn't work. You have to have a process. I'm an engineer. Everything has to be a process.
And this is a process. We used to teach in our very first classes an overeating process is what people did. They dieted, they lost weight, they ate the boy they always had eaten again, they put it back on, and that was their process. Your process is now a slim process. You eat only when you're hungry, you stop when you're comfortable, you eat slowly. So you've changed your process.
Right.
And that's what drives me nuts about diets is they don't change the process. They don't change the person, and the person owns the process. They just briefly change the food, but they never change the person. And I get frustrated because I'll hear weight loss experts today talking, and it's all about food, it's all about medication, but it's not about changing the person and changing their process.
Now, I remember when I was young and I lost, 60, 70 pounds back when I was in my early 20s. And I was so excited. Now, being honest, I never dropped to as low as I am today.
Wow.
I got to 212 pounds was the lowest I'd ever been.
Wow.
So I'm like 20 pounds lower than that. But that's where I hit. And the way I did it was I would eat a can of soup for lunch. I would eat one slice of pizza for dinner. So I was depriving myself, but I didn't know that's what I was doing. I was following a diet that was told to me.
Yes.
And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked fabulously. Till I ate 2 slices of pizza one day, and then it didn't work. And to be honest with you, until my mid-40s, late 40s, I didn't realize to do it.
Yeah. No. The answer's been right in front of us, but people didn't see it.
That's right.
When one of my new medical officers came on board, he talked to my mom, and he was like, You figured this out in the late 70s, and people now in the 2000 teens are just now figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people still say we're going to teach you not to diet, but they're still teaching people to diet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you really have
Yeah.
assimilated it all.
And I've tried all the different diet foods.
Yeah,
I hate the word diet in a food because there's something else in it.
yeah.
And I enjoy the Splendas and the sweeteners. I just don't eat a lot of sugar.
Oh, that's good.
I eat sugar, but not a lot.
I think that's crucial. I think that's where we saw the biggest results is people cutting back on sugar and not realizing. I worked with a lot of municipalities, and there were firefighters. I remember this one firefighter saying, when we all sit down to eat, I take a magic marker, and on the liter of soda, I write my name, and it's there. And by the end of the day, I've drunk it all. And I was just like, ouch. Yeah. So, the other thing I noticed, when the Naturally Slim results were so great, and we did and do get 50% reversal of metabolic syndrome, we couldn't understand. Like, well, we think we know why, but that's just unbelievable. And then we started realizing it really was intermittent fasting was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I said, Anil, you can only eat in this window of time, all of a sudden you're probably going to feel like you're on a diet. Would you say that?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you want to eat.
And I guess I naturally intermittent fast.
Yeah.
Because I'll eat something in the morning. Today I had breakfast. I had a little something on the way over here. Now I'm not going to eat anything till 7 or 8 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock, whenever we have dinner. So it's 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten to a point when I'm hungry, I'll grab something.
Yeah.
But after running around in the school all afternoon, you get hungry, so I eat something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't.
Yeah. It's zipping your lip in between meals.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important.
And I used to never do that.
Yeah.
No.
People don't realize grazing is constantly causing insulin to be released. And insulin is a hormone that says make and store fat. So it's eat when you're hungry, zip your lip, wait till you're hungry again.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And for people that don't know, Naturally Slim is now being taught under Wonder Health. Mm-hmm. And still very vital through corporations.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
And single people could take it on their own online. WONDR.
Yes.
Which is fun. What else? So working in, was it high school with kids or junior
high? At the high school.
High school.
Louisville High School.
Okay.
Louisville High School Carmen campus.
Okay.
Which is the 9-10 campus. They have 3 campuses for Louisville High School.
Everything's bigger campus in Texas,
Yeah, they have their main campus, which is 11 and 12. Then they have a building called Kilo, which is a 9-10 campus, 9th grade, 10th grade. They have another one called Harmon, 9-10.
Wow.
And that seems to be the trends nowadays, that the high schools have a 9th grade campus and possibly a 9-10, but generally a 9th grade, and then 10, 11, 12 is the main school. And all of the districts are doing that. Basically
Interesting.
Now. That's becoming a very popular methodology. When I was in high school, that's not how it worked, but we also didn't have 4,000 students at the building either. So, I mean, it's the size.
There was like 36 people in my graduating class.
I mean, mine was pretty small too when I graduated. But, that's what I think it is now. So the kids are on buses a lot, going back between campuses in this case, but they're all getting a lot of exercise, even though they don't have something called PE unless they're in sports. Okay.
Isn't that crazy? We all had PE every day. Okay, tell me more.
They don't have that anymore. And the kids are good, but they feed off of each other. So if one is following something, the other one does the same thing, but they're good kids and they're learning how to deal with it. Our school tends to have a lot of kids that need assistance, either mental assistance, food assistance, whatever assistance they need. We have a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so we try to help the kids continue to develop and do well. And they do well. We have a good bunch of kids.
Oh,
I love it.
That's neat. So all the people out there that are watching, that are thinking about a medication or on a medication, those two groups, what's your advice to them?
If you're on the medication, take it, but change how you think. It takes 3 weeks to make a change. Try it. If you're on the medication and you still go out to eat dinner every day, great. Just try to cut it in half. Put it into a box. Or if you eat big breakfast in the morning and you're on the medications, try to eat half of it. Yeah. See how you do. Yeah. because part of the side effects of these medications is it makes you not want to be hungry.
Mm.
But when you see the food, I don't care if I'm hungry or not. I'm going to want it.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I mean, that's the
Totally.
reality. If you're not on the medications, do the same thing. Go ahead and start cutting how much food you eat, because it's the intake. They talk about the 3,500 calories, but if your body takes X number of calories to maintain your weight or gain weight, if you reduce the amount of food taken in, which basically reduces the calories, you will start seeing a loss of weight.
Mm-hmm.
It's numbers.
Yeah.
That's the mathematician, but that's really what it is. It's a mental state to change the numbers you're eating.
Portion sizes.
Portion sizes. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And if you can do it, and that's what a lot of these weight loss programs do, the big ones, is to tell you to count numbers. This one's 2 points, and that one's 10 points, and that one's this. All they're doing is doing the counting for you. Well, I can count just as good as they can.
Yeah. So you're just eating the food you like.
Yes, I eat what I like.
Yeah.
I don't.
And you just eat it till you're comfortable.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
I love it. Are you eating off smaller plates?
Yes,
Do you feel like that helps?
it actually does. I never think about it. Now that you ask the question, it does.
So you're doing everything
We
right.
we have our big plates, which we use as serving plates.
Uh-huh.
And then we have the littler
It's
ones,
serving place.
and then we have the littler ones. And the only time I use the big plate is if we're putting it on the table and people are going to share, or it's like I don't know if they're called quarter plates.
Uh-huh.
It's the Corral plates, which they have the big platters, and then they have the little ones.
Yeah.
It's the little one I always take.
Yeah, like a salad.
Yeah, salad plate.
plate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I start with.
Yeah, me too. There's just something about your eye seeing the plate full.
Mhm.
Your brain goes, this is good. And if you have a big plate and the smaller portions, it's like, oh, am I getting enough?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So I think that's a good tool. And then how important is it to stay hydrated all the time?
Oh yeah, I drink a lot.
Yeah.
It's either water. I like the sparkling waters. I like the Crystal Light type products. I
Mhm.
like the no caffeine sodas, like was it root beer and Fresca are all no caffeine and things. I try to stick with some of those things primarily, but I like my sweet drinks from that standpoint.
Uh-huh.
But I'm always drinking something. I always have it with me.
Me too.
I
always
can't
have a
live
cup
without
with
it.
me.
And I struggle carrying, and this is the wasteful on me, carrying that around with me. I do it when I'm in a building, but when I'm going out, I like to take a can.
Oh, okay. That's why
That's why I had my can when I
earlier.
came in today, is because I brought that from home. And it was water. It was just some Kroger brand water.
Huh.
And I always have one with me. But I'm always having something, because I think one of the side effects is you get dehydrated with some of these medications. So you really have to, and it's one of the things they say on there, you got to make sure you're constantly drinking.
Mm.
I get up in the morning, I have a couple cups of tea. Then I'll have I don't actually drink orange juice anymore because it's got too many calories, and it's
Not
not
your gig.
my brain says it's not good to do that anymore, so I don't.
Yeah.
I grew up with it.
Yeah.
My dad used to do it every day,
Yeah.
but now I don't do it. And so I try to keep something in my fridge. I always have something that I can carry around with me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I actually still have, I was telling you earlier, I still have a bunch of the Naturally Slim bottles and glasses, and I still use them.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. Yeah. My cousin Nancy,
Yeah.
her son who's a true thin. True thins are those people that have never had a weight problem. We hate their guts, but they just intuitively eat when they're hungry, stop when they're comfortable. He liked the coffee cups we had at one time that kind of looked like that.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he broke one once and was like, I got to have my coffee cup. So we got him a coffee cup. And I came upon some the other day, so I thought I got to give it to him. Well, is there any last parting thoughts you want to give people, even though I kind of already asked you that?
Don't ever give up hope. Don't ever shortchange yourself, and don't let anyone else tell you you're doing it wrong, because everybody else is different. Everybody's different.
Yes.
It becomes a lifestyle, and all you have to do is think about it that way, and you may not see results immediately. I honestly didn't notice the results I personally, to this day, don't notice the results, to be honest with you. But I remember when I was in the Naturally Slim offices, I had bought a smaller pair of pants, and I came in and everybody asked me, have I lost weight?
Yeah.
That was my first indication that I was doing something right. Otherwise, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Sure, they got loose and stuff like that, but I never really thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I was doing that well.
Wow. Wow.
And it just happened.
Yeah. So did you make short-term, long-term goals or anything, or you just
Nope.
did it? Okay.
I never
Everything
said
is different.
I never said I want to lose 10 pounds here or 20 pounds there, and I'm going to do it by this date. That put too much pressure.
Yeah.
If I got on the scale and I was down 2 pounds and it took me 6 weeks to get there, I was happy.
Wow.
That's why it's taken me 10 years.
Hey, I'm
Okay?
all over it.
I mean, the reality is it's taken me 10 years.
That's okay.
And it's just because I didn't, if I forced it, I would have probably gained it back.
Right.
Because I would not have changed my lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming
You're welcome.
today. We learned so much.
Absolutely.
You were a total success story. I love it.
I've been good.
Yeah.
I've been lucky.
And you look
And
fabulous.
I really have to attribute a lot of my success to you and the Natural Slim program, because I would have done something, but I don't know whether it would have been sustainable.
Well, thank you. I have this one friend who goes, yeah, I want to give you some accolades, Marcia, but I did all the hard work. And you did. You're the one that did all the hard work. We just hopefully gave you the tools.
But you also gave me a lot of advice along the way.
Okay.
You coached me.
Oh,
When I'd ask you questions, you'd answer them.
okay.
You never said no.
Oh, good.
I mean, I enjoyed it. We had a good time.
Oh, we had a
tough
great time. We had fun. Our
Yeah.
office was always a family.
Mhm.
We had a really good time. Super. Well, thank you. And
Thank
you'll
you.
have to come back and talk to us again
I will be
sometime.
happy to.
Yeah. So you guys join us next time for more Insights with Marcia.